Hey, good morning. Jaya here. Obviously, beautiful sunny fall day. I just wanted to give a background about what I'm dealing with. And first of all, to say like the only reason I'm making this video right now, or this video is sponsored by Klonopin, as crazy as that sounds, which is a benzo. For those who don't know, you're lucky and you're blessed. But benzos have been the hardest drug, pharmaceutical that I haven't gotten from a prescription. It's just black market, but it's like the thing that helps the most to shut the brain off, to turn the pain off. Like the sun's in my face, the anxiety and the depression and the dreadfulness, like that's the word that resonates the most. It's like the next moment is so dreadful to think about. So I'm going to go to the hospital in the next few days, and but I'm just scared they're going to give me more drugs. It's just such an ironic thing, I'm trying to get off these drugs, this antidepressant, SSRI, that I started in 2017, going through a really hard time, and it definitely helped. But I didn't want to be dependent on it. I thought I was signing up for like a year or 6 months, and I didn't know that my brain wouldn't be able to go back to normal, which happens for some people. It's called discontinuation syndrome. So it's SSRI withdrawal that I'm going through, and I'm on month 4 right now. I just entered month 4, which is the longest I went ever before in my 6 or 7 times trying to quit in the past. The longest I've gone is 4 months, and I just kind of hit that record again. So if it wasn't for Klonopin, I wouldn't be talking so calmly right now, or even in the mood to like make a video. So it's just funny, But caffeine and cannabis have been daily, but now I'm like really nervous that I'm digging myself a deeper hole, because now the past 2 weeks, both kratom, or kratom, however you say it, which is a legal herb, legal in most states, but it acts on the opiate receptors, so it's a painkiller. And then benzos, mostly Valium, but I have a few Klonopin in my possession. So yeah, it's just so ironic. It has so much to do with substances and trying to get off these substances, like not wanting to be dependent on the system, the pharmaceutical system, going to CVS every month and whatever. So sorry about all the information. It's just, I'm grateful to feel loved and cared about, and I'm just doing this as a video so I could send it to my family that's not on Facebook, and also to put it on my networks, because, excuse me, if it's helpful for anybody else too, going through this. And I know we're all going through this MAHA thing, like it's like huge, Make America Healthy Again, like with Robert F. Kennedy, like leading the helm. And there's so many people that are really, Dr. Casey and Callie Means, this brother and sister that are like doctors that are, it's just so in the collective, and I feel so connected to the collective that I feel like sometimes it gives me a little glimmer of purpose. Like, okay, this body's processing so much of what society's going through around our addiction to big pharma and the chemicals in our food, and glyphosate spraying, and these things. Sorry, my hand, but it's like so intense, man. So many things have to change around our relationship with the soil, with community, with plants, and so I could calm my hand down too. But it's just a lot. It's a lot. And I'm so sensitive to the world, and the world is so crazy. And so now I'm about to go to the hospital with the bright fluorescent lights and the freaking red number 40 and the Jello and like food that I just can't even imagine eating, And it's so ironic being such a healthy person in some ways and doing all these cleanses, but then to like fall off the wagon and be like, I'm in so much pain that I will do anything to turn this off. Like, okay, benzo with the cannabis gummy, like I'm good, and then some mate to keep me up enough, and like, these different just chemicals in the system, in this already very sensitive vessel, I deal with so much stuff with my gut and my heart and my lungs, and I just have a sensitive system, which so often feels like such a burden, such a, teeth issues and like car issues and just all these human things, when you kind of live like a monk and you don't live in the rat race, and I haven't been able to work hardly at all for like months. Oh man, it's a lot. So sorry to ramble. Thank you for listening. And again, like, I know so many of us are going through it, so maybe this is my service to be like, yo, I'm going through it so bad. I'm doing these fucking kind of ugly drugs, you know, street drugs. They're just pharmaceuticals, but, you know, I mean, I'm not doing heroin. I'm not doing meth. I'm not doing freaking whatever that other one is that's killing so many people, fentanyl. Bless. Society is like struggling so much with substance abuse stuff. So that's what's running through my karma body right now. You know, for 9 months, I didn't touch any substance except for trying to get off the SSRI, like slowly, but I didn't go slow enough. I fasted over the summer, thinking it could help expedite the resting the body, can help the brain regenerate. But anyway, putting all the chips in the different piles or whatever you call it. I doubled down. So I'm gonna go to the hospital the next day or two, most likely. Like, I'm gonna self-medicate another day or two so I could tolerate existing on my own without thinking of dying. But then I'm gonna go to the hospital, and then hopefully I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm either gonna go back on the medication, which is so shitty because it takes 3 months for it to activate again. So like 12 weeks. Excuse me. The first month is like horrible sleep and my brain feeling all weird, like all being cooked a little bit. And then it's 2 more months. It historically takes me full 12 weeks for it to activate again. So that's so long, you know? If it was 3 weeks, you guys, I would have been back on it already. Been like, fuck this. I don't want to die. All right. My ego hates that I take a pharmaceutical, you know? My body hates it, my liver and everything else probably. But, you know, I don't get the sexual side effects that some people get. I don't get, not that I'm celibate anyway. But, yeah, anyway, it's just such a journey, man. Such a journey, and I don't want to give up. And I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to say that right. I don't necessarily believe that right now, but I'm saying that right now. I'm not going to give up, you know. Definitely not going to give up out of fear. I'll say that, you know. If it feels like there's no way out, it's like maybe it'll come to that, but no, I'm not going to give up. But let me just say it like that. Leave it like that. I'm not going to give up. I'm not here to be a quitter. I'm here to awaken, you know, and to spread love. And fuck everything else, you know. The world's going crazy, and I'm so sensitive to that, you know. And it's the path of the freaking madman, you know, the freaking medicine man in the tribe, to like go on the edge of insanity and to like leave and go out into the wild. And, you know, so metaphorically and archetypically, like, it gives me some sense of purpose to be like, that's what I'm going through, you know. I'm just going through like the extreme dark night of the soul. And in my head, I'm like, again, you know, it's been so much fucking suffering. Oh, man, it's so ironic, you know, dependency on substances and food. You know, food is a big thing for me. I compulsively overeat, especially when I have ganja in my life, you know, like the munchies. And so my gut is already, like, has so many issues. And then I, like, eat so much before bed. It's like, it's really humbling, you know, to do these things that aren't good for the vessel. And then to not have self-hatred for that, you know, which I'm working on, and which is like the biggest, excuse me, the biggest like medicine, like teaching and opportunity of this, to love myself through it. When I make choices that are like, oh man, you know, but I'm in so much pain that I'm like, all right, I'm self-medicated. It totally makes sense. So many people, you know, it's like so easy to judge drug addicts on the street and alcoholics and stuff. And it's like, guess what? Trauma, you know, that's what addiction comes from, trauma. And I've been blessed to never have like real addiction, but I dance the edge, man. I'm dancing the edge right now, but I just have to be gentle with it, because I'm like, all right, well, I'm just trying to get by day. Fuck, man. So anyway, it's already 9 minutes. I feel like I could just keep talking, but I'm scared. I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm just gonna see this way I could say, at least I did that. My mom wants me to do that. My family wants me to do that. So what am I gonna do? Check out permanently from this reality without at least trying that, even though it gives me the biggest creeps to be in this fluorescent lights and to eat the food, and, you know, and what if they aren't understanding of me, or they judge me as a hippie and whatever, you know. And it's like, who cares? It's like, all right, there's support groups. I'll be somewhere where there's like people who look after me, hopefully. I don't know what to expect, but I just have to, it's just so ironic to have faith in the system that I've been so outside of my whole life, you know, in a lot of ways. and then taking this antidepressant, which I never thought I would do, you know, at age 36. I mean, 36 years. I've always known what depression was to a degree. Never thought I would take medication. It was always tolerable, you know. I never really had suicidal ideation until I tried to titrate, until I tried to get off. It's like a whole different animal, you know, discontinuation syndrome versus regular depression and anxiety, or at least the degree to which I had it, you know. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for listening. Life is such a trip, man. Life is such a trip, and we're all going through it. And, you know, I just got to think of Palestinian kids, and I got to think of friggin' Israeli families, and friggin' Ukrainian families, and Russian people, and not to mention all the other places, you know, like all the people in the third world. And so this feels good right now to say this part, because it's so fucking, there's so much suffering in the world, you know. America, you know, these people, you know, how many rich people in their mansions are just so horribly distraught, you know. I know so many people in India that live in huts that are like way happier than, so I have, you know, every spectrum, like compassion, may my compassion go in every direction, you know, empathy for all suffering, no matter what it looks like, you know. Just corrupt friggin' corporate elite, big pharma people, you know, that are stuck in greed and fear, you know, and like, and that's why they're so greedy and so corrupt, you know. Like, I want my compassion to just expand to them too. It's like we're all, so many people suffer, you know. So I just have to remember, like, this meeting in this to just fucking endure, just by virtue of the fact that it's like, all right, I'm not alone. A lot of people suffer. My fucking curriculum feels very specific and very ironic and very, you know, just related to food and substances and my body's health, and then self-hatred for not treating the body right. And the big thing being like, oh man, like if I was normal, I could just meditate in my tiny home and unplug and I'd be fine, you guys. Like, as you, a lot of you know, like, all right, try and retreat for 2 weeks, unplugged. I got my fucking food stocked in the fridge, and I'm just in silence, reading my spiritual books, meditating some, walking in nature. God, to think about that, it makes me wistful, you know, to just be normal. But I'm not normal now, so I'm like, self-medicate, hide out, or not hide out, be around people, but it's because I'm high that I'm like, okay, it's one benefit of like ganja. It makes me more social. I'm like, I have a social life again, but I'm like, anyway, ramble. Versus like a year ago, just making a meditative, like quiet, slow video. But I had 2 matcha teas this morning, matcha lattes, which were good. I had that Klonopin a half hour ago, and I just ate a little ganja gummy. I'm about to drink some mate, actually, a little bit more stimulant, because why not? It'll balance out the Klonopin, which is like a depressant, you know, of the nervous system. And the combination makes for a talkative mofo, as you can see. So, anyway, love to all, man, love to all. Love to all. Holy Jesus Christ Almighty, Buddha, Mother, Ma. You know, I just have to remember Ma and remember my connection with Mother Earth, you know. And it's just my body, my nervous system is channeling that collective too. We're so disconnected from Mother Earth, from the soil. And I just have to remember her, and she's holding me, and I'm sitting on her right now. Like, one of my feet is like shaking here on my lap, and the other foot, the socked foot, is on the ground, you know. And I'm just like, all right, I'm connected to Mother Earth, and we're going through this crazy awakening. And if this body's meant to be a vessel of hell, then fucking don't make it too hard so I could fucking survive, because I don't want to give up. But let me just see it as that. Let me just derive purpose from, like, okay, I'm fucking helping to do service to the collective, like so many of us are, you know. Not like I'm a fucking superhero, but there's a lot of us, you know, on the awakening path that have to do hard work, and we came here for a reason and all that fucking shit. Get me back to the Pleiades for a minute up in this piece, man, you know. And who knows, when you die, some people are like, oh, you reincarnate, it's going to be so long, you're going to have to go through so many births, and you're just going to have to do it all over again. And I'm like, that sounds kind of sadistic, you know. Maybe I'll take a vacation for like a few eons back in the Pleiadian star system, or some heavenly realm, some loka, and then come back and then do it again. But I'll have gotten the chance to rest. That's kind of what I think happens after you die, but who the hell knows? And I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but I'm not saying I'm not going to do that. And that's just real talk. You know, people could be so alarmist about it, but it's like, when the suffering is so intense, it's like, it's just compassion to rest. Maybe now the Klonopin's really kicking in. Resting. I have a headache. My skin's breaking out. My body's definitely showing signs of like toxins, you know, pharmaceuticals, alcohol occasionally, cannabis daily. Oh my Jesus, little baby Jesus Christ Almighty. God bless everybody. Please, it gets so hard here. Please just help us to just be gentle with ourselves, and please be gentle with us, and as we navigate this realm of physical, visceral, so visceral, that word, visceral, all caps. Visceral fucking existence on this plane, you know? It's so intense at times. It's so rich and beautiful. It's so intense. Maybe I'll be happy. I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm just gonna do it in the next day or two. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for your prayers and well wishes. And I know I put this like publicly, but it's really, in a way, it's meant for anybody that it resonates with, and it's also meant for like 20 or 30 people that are kind of close to me, that it means the most to be in touch with you, you know, to hear from you. So thank you. I hope nobody feels this level of pain. I know a lot of people do, but I just wish, or we just thrive from it, move through it, learn from it. Thank you. I know that was a lot. I don't even know what I said, but questions, comments, welcome. Bye.